Well, good evening, everybody. J Mac here with you. That's right, we're back tonight here on the 3rd of June. Welcome to the 6th month of the year. We're coming up on the first day of summer, which is going to be the longest day of the year. I bet you can't wait for that, huh, Chris?
Oh yeah, I mean, summer's coming quick and school's out already, so start those summer vacation plans, I guess.
That is true. That's very true. A lot of people doing the summer vacation thing. We got a couple planned this year. We're going up to the Great Wolf Lodge. It's a big water park here in the Pacific Northwest. We're going up to that here Father's Day weekend, so a couple weekends from now. We're doing that, and then we're going to a music festival at the end of July, and then we're taking another trip to Vegas. So maybe I'll go live from there this time, like when I went last time, and that'll be awesome to be going from there. So
right,
go from there, and then of course we go camping a few times. So we got some fun stuff planned for the summer. How about you, Chris? You got anything great planned for the summertime?
Not right now. I'm sure things are going to be planned, but most parts try to stay cool. It's going to be, those hot temperatures. So
yeah, you guys hit 100 sometimes, don't you?
We do, yeah.
What's the weather like there right now?
We had rain a couple days ago, so it's kind of in the 70s.
70s, yeah, it's been warm here. I think it was up at like 85 the other day here. So.
Oh wow.
So it's been nice. Definitely nicer than it has been in years past to this time of year. I remember it was 2021, I think, when my daughter graduated, and we were having a graduation party like June 10th or 11th, and it was raining. So that kind of sucked.
Right.
But let's see. So how are the Rangers doing, man? How's that? Here comes Big B on the show. We'll want to welcome Big B into the show, everybody. Say hello to Big B. It looks like he just got off work. How you doing tonight, brother? Maybe some technical difficulties there for Big B. He'll be on as soon as he can get on here and we can see him. Sorry we didn't have a show on Monday, but we hope everyone had a great Memorial Day. Great Memorial. Chris, did you guys grill out or anything on Memorial Day?
Yeah, we did a little grilling. It wasn't bad. Some burgers and hot dogs, so wasn't too bad.
Yeah, you know what happens at my house is my wife will ask me to grill, and I got no problem doing it. But then I always get in trouble because when I tell her, well, I got dinner, or the friends come over and we're like, oh, the guys got dinner. Well, apparently my idea of dinner is not the same as hers. And so there's Big B.
All right.
And so her idea, what we're talking about, Big B, is that Memorial Day when I did some barbecuing, and apparently my the friends come over and I say, oh, the guys got dinner. Don't you girls worry about it. You guys go in the house and do whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, apparently just throwing a hunk of meat on a barbecue or in a smoker and not thinking about, sides and drinks, that's not really making dinner, according to,
yeah,
the girls, because then they get all mad and they're like, oh, well, now we have to get up and we have to make salad and we have to make drinks because all you did was took a hunk of meat and threw it on a barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nitpicking. I mean, I get that at home too. Either I make too much sides, or I don't make enough sides, or I don't make stuff that goes together. So
Well, yeah, for me, it's interesting because I'm always like, all right, when's the last time you've watched me sit down when anybody's at the house, or even if it's just the two of us or us and the kids, right? When's the last time you've seen me sit down and eat a salad for dinner? That's
Well,
right. I don't. That's why I don't. That's why I don't think about making it, because I don't. I'm not saying I don't have a side salad with my dinner, but I've never just sat down and said, "Oh, I'm just having a salad for dinner."
I get that too. And I get that. My wife, she'll buy salad bakes, to try to eat healthy, which is fine. But for me, I still have to have, some kind of meat on the side or in my salad. And she's like, "Well, why?" It's like, because it's protein. I can't just sit down and eat a salad unless it has something with it,
Yeah. You know what's really good that I found? I didn't know this was going to turn into a food episode, but maybe it will. We never know when we go live, because we don't have a plan usually when we come on the air. Sometimes
So
we'll
this
talk
will
about
be our first PG show.
Oh, who knows? But we don't, it's not like we go through and script every single thing we talk about. So sometimes we'll bring up topics we're going to talk about, sometimes we don't. So anyway, sometimes what I found in salad that's really good, you want the protein and stuff in there, but I will sub in some turkey breasts.
Yep.
Like you get the turkey, the sliced turkey or chicken breasts that you can put in there, because you don't want any of the processed like ham and all that stuff, because it's not healthy for you.
Well, it depends on who you talk to on that though too. So
I mean, yeah, anything you eat is going to kill you or give you cancer or who knows.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
Especially bacon.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they say for every piece of bacon you eat, you take 7 minutes off your life. And if that's true, then I should have died in like 1863 or something. So,
yeah, no kidding.
But what's your favorite? So what's your go-to food? Like you're gonna sit down and watch the baseball game, and you kind of want to munch on something while you're watching the game. You don't want to eat a whole meal. Is there something you actually like? Prepare,
chips and cheese.
Chips and cheese.
Yeah.
Put chips on a bowl or a plate and throw some shredded cheese. No, throw some shredded cheese out, throw it in the microwave, melt the cheese.
Yeah.
I might also look to do that. Like if I have taco meat afterwards, throw some taco meat on top. So yeah, that's like my go-to. Because you typically have some kind of chips around, and typically have cheese. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Honestly, for me, it's jerky. I like jerky,
like
pepperoni sticks and stuff. Which, if we're gonna talk about prices that are really high on stuff, and we talk about gas prices and all that, when are we gonna protest what the price of beef jerky is, man?
It is expensive, yeah.
I mean, you're talking 5 ounces of beef jerky is costing me $7 right now. Like, what?
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah, it's insane.
I think we're around 8, and if we go to Walmart and get like the super bag, that might be 12. So, but the thing is we still buy it because we like it.
Well, I do have to admit that that's the retail price on a 5-ounce bag at the store.
Yeah,
I get a killer discount at the store I work at, and so.
Oh yeah, it's always good to have discounts, but.
Mm-hmm.
So I buy a lot of stuff at the store, where I work, because my discount makes it where it's pretty much pay cost. Whatever we cost to bring it in the store is pretty much what I get it for. So I spend a lot of my money there. I always joke that they should just take our paychecks and like give us a card for the store. We might as well just do that because I'm going to spend most of it there anyway.
Yep. Well, especially when you get a good deal on that. I mean, I know when I used to work at Walmart, around the Christmas time, we would get our employee discount, and then typically they would double it. And then on certain days, if you work Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and so it's after Christmas, they'll be like, okay, you work Thanksgiving, you work Christmas, you work Black Friday, we're gonna give you an extra 15% off of stuff. So, so sometimes you could get like a $600 bill and only pay like $250, $300 on it. So,
Right.
That ain't bad. Wow.
oh,
No, it's not bad. I mean, even though jobs are they're not fun. Let's face it. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, "Yes, I get to go to work today." Okay. I mean, I'm not saying you can't like your job. You can't not like your job. Like my job pays my bills, so I love that aspect of it. But nobody really wants to go to work 40 hours a week. Nobody really wants to do it. And so
just like you didn't want to go to school for 13 years. So, I mean,
right. So my only point on that is that they take care of you because they take care of your family. So it's always nice that anyone can complain about their job, but you have to look at the good side of things too. Like I get a killer discount, so I buy a lot of stuff there. And so I look at that part of it, how much money that saves me every year by being able to do that. So just something like that. So what we talked about before you came on, Big B, is if you have any big summer plans, any summertime plans, trips with the family or anything.
Yeah, typically we'll try to hit a lot of fairs. Trying to find time to get to a couple baseball games, either with the Twins or the Saints. The son is talking about wanting to go to his first soccer game, so we might check that out. Always talk about, family vacation, which, the wife, this year will be 10 years for us, so she wants to go down to Nashville, but now she wants to put it on hold because we're putting on an addition to the house. And the way price is up, we'll see what, when that time comes. But, just the typical stuff, just, hanging out with the boy, watching play baseball, soccer, going to games, going to fairs, stuff like that.
Sure. We get some pretty good stuff here in the area for as far as concerts, like at the fair and everything. I really can't complain about the people that come because we have the Matthew Knight Arena. I'm sure everyone knows what that is. It's where the Oregon Ducks play basketball. We get some pretty big names in there. What we just had, not everyone likes his music, but Tech-9, he's like he was famous 10 years ago or so, but he was just at the Matthew Knight Arena. We've had Miranda Lambert at the Matthew Knight Arena. So, we get all these, we get some bigger names here. So I don't really complain about the ones that come in. Big and Rich was here last year at the fair. So you pay fair admission and get to watch their concert. That's pretty cool. Hey, Christy Wilson, how you doing tonight? Christy, if your family's doing anything fun for the summer, let us know in the comment section. We'll read it on the air. Anyone watching, if you got any fun plans or any ideas for us of places we should check out or things we should do.
Well, I know a lot of Cowboy fans at this time of year are just planning their parade route for the Super Bowl.
So this is their Super Bowl run. Yeah, for sure. So interesting that you bring that up because it's almost time for us to play the ads. But before we do that, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you that I had to pick on our fellow co-host who's been away from the show for a while in Dragon Viper. And I had to send him a picture the other day of Ryan Fitzpatrick because Ryan Fitzpatrick, as we all know, just retired, right?
Yep.
Well, he has more passing yards in his NFL career as a quarterback than Troy Aikman. And he has 60 more touchdown passes in his NFL career than Troy Aikman. And is anyone talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick making the Hall of Fame? No.
Nope.
But
didn't I hear a stat too that he has more the most 400-yard passing games and 400-yard passing games and 4 touchdown games in a career.
Something like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
But also, isn't he like one of like, I don't know, 5 quarterbacks to lose against every team? I could be wrong about that.
It could be, but I mean, the only point, Chris, is you don't like hearing it because Troy
Yeah.
Aikman is a Cowboy. But my problem with Troy Aikman, here's my problem. You know what my problem is, Chris.
Right.
We've
No, I
talked
know.
about this. My
Yeah.
problem is Troy Aikman's not even the second best quarterback in his team's history. Not even the second best. And he's in the Hall of Fame. So that's where I have an issue. Like, he's not even the second best ever. Christy says she doesn't have any plans, but I'm hoping to have some fun this summer. We all hope to have fun during the summer because
Yeah.
we know the fall is my favorite time of year.
Mhm.
I hate the winter, and here in the Pacific Northwest, all it does is rain.
Yeah.
It rains 8 months out of the year, so we enjoy the 4 months that it really doesn't rain a lot. So, yeah, we definitely enjoy that. Chris, why don't you roll the ads for us, and then we'll talk about the book, and we'll be right back with you here on the Four Bros Radio Show.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
All right, Brandon, Big B, why don't you tell us about this book?
All right. So the book is Race Against Race. It's written by Bo D. Sanders, a co-host of ours, fellow colleague. It's about his journey through life from, pretty much adulthood, high school age, all the way up to, his end of his playing days. I'm about halfway through the book. It's endorsed by the Big East Conference. It's available on Amazon. It's on their best sellers list. You can find it digitally everywhere, plus on Amazon. So check it out. And I know he's getting ready to do a little tour in Florida, I think.
Yep, I believe that's coming up in a couple of weeks, so look for that. Thanks for that, Brandon. Thanks for that, Chris. Don't forget, no one likes ads, no one likes commercials, but don't forget that we do have to pay the bills. We do have to keep this show going. So those allow us to do that. So please, if you get a chance, check out the paparazzi, check out the bracelets, and check out the book there. That all helps us pay the bills to keep bringing you this show and all the other ones on Coast to Coast also. So we were talking, I don't know, we talked food, we talked football, we talked summer plans, Memorial Day. Real quick, I want to touch on a couple of things. I want to touch on what we thought of. So let's set the setting here. Let's set the landscape of what I'm talking about. So when we agreed to this deal to follow the Oregon Cougars women's football team before the season started, I'll admit I didn't know what to expect. I don't think any of us knew what to expect. Like if this was going to be any good, if any fans were going to show up, if the streaming was going to work. I mean, are you guys with me? Like we had no idea.
Yeah.
We didn't know if it was going to be, basically rough two-hand touch. We didn't know what to expect. And I got to say that I was very, very shocked, and not in a bad way, but in a good way of I thoroughly enjoyed myself getting to go to these games and watching these games. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun watching.
No, it was fun watching. And my aunt back, I'm trying to think of the exact years. I think it was around 2002, Minnesota and Michigan, we'll call them, because they're called Lake Michigan. I mean, they did a brainstorming tour of 8 games that year, just those 2 teams to promote women's professional football and get things started. So they played here in Minnesota, I think 4 games, then one in like Chicago, New York, Pennsylvania, just to get around. And yeah, no, it was exciting. I mean, you know, not knowing that it was the women playing, it still sounded like football. I mean, I would say it was probably high schoolish, talent, a lot of running, a throw here and there. They did one field goal attempt in the so-called championship game. I think it was like 20 yards out. Lady nailed it right down the middle to win the game. So, I've seen it firsthand, just like J-Mac has back in the day. And yeah, it shocked me on how, the hitting sounded hard. I mean, granted, yes, men hit differently than women, but it's still, if I didn't know and I was just sitting at a game, I would have thought it was just regular football.
Right. No, I agree with that. And Chris, what did you think? What were your takeaways from the season?
No, I mean, watching the Oregon Cougars, it was really good. It was good to see, football, in any sport, any gender, whatever, it was just like if you would watch an NFL game or just a football game in general.
Yeah, I agree with that. And by the way, it's not breaking news because we did it this year, but I do have to let everyone know that is a continued contract, and we have been given the green light that we are going to be the streaming hosts for Oregon's women's football for indefinite. I mean, until they don't do it anymore, or until we aren't on anymore, or whatever. So that will be brought to you every season. We'll have some. Next year, we're planning some other things. We're going to do a weekly show about it to talk about the game that happened, the game that's going to happen, stat leaders, different things revolved around them. We'll do a pregame show, a postgame show. We're going to have a lot revolved around the Cougars. And I think that's only fair because, they kind of gave us a chance this year to try some streaming stuff. And so we're going to do a lot for them that they've done for us. So watch for that for sure. That's going to be for years to come. We hope that partnership.
It sounds like it was a great. J-Mac, and your play-by-play was phenomenal. The broadcasting school paid off for you. So,
well, thank you. I did the best I could. It was really hard that last game. I asked 3 times. I sent someone down, my helper Jordan. I sent him down to ask the California Crush 3 times for a roster, so I could actually call their women's names out on the play, and they just never gave me one. So it's really hard when you don't have a roster for them. You're like California Crush number 9. It sounds like you're favoring the Oregon Cougars, which we kind of do because that is our team, but not having a roster was hard. So I think next year we're gonna do a little better to try to make sure that happens. So
and I tell you what, J-Mac, I know you don't try to show favoritism, but I tell you what, I heard the excitement when the running back, I don't know her name, broke off that deep run,
that 50-yard run.
Oh my God!
I saw it. It was honestly at that moment, it was like watching an NFL game and watching your favorite running back run down the field for a 50-yard run. I mean,
that sealed the game too, didn't it? I mean, did that put them up by 2?
Yeah. And so I can only try to explain this to you guys. If you've never gotten to sit in the press box of any game and watch the game from that view, and you could see everything, I would encourage you guys to do that if you get a chance, because there's no experience like that. And I will be forever grateful for that experience, because it really made me be able to see the whole field, not just look at the line of scrimmage and see what's going on there, but then you're looking down the field to see what the safety's doing, and you're looking on the backfield to see what the running back's doing, and you can see everything. You see both the coaches, and like I called a few times in that game, the refs were all over the California coaches. I mean, those coaches were 10 yards out onto the field, and they were calling them on it. Yeah, so it was interesting. But enough about that. Real quick, I want to touch on the WNBA, and if either of you are surprised that Becky Hammond has started her career 9-1 as the Las Vegas Aces coach. To me, that's what happens when you are the assistant coach to the greatest NBA coach of all time.
Right.
You're just going to do that. And Greg Popovich was commended by the NBA commissioner tonight. He told him that not only do you run a system where you create basically players that no one's heard of to all-star players like he did this year with Jamonte Murray.
And Olympians.
And Olympians, yeah. Well, you got to throw that one in, of course. Olympian. But he said also, you don't just do that, but you have a culture of winning. You push your players to win. You develop your players from nothing. But not just that, you also develop coaches that have all come out and had great careers after they've coached under you. And front office people have learned how to be good front office people in the NBA. Said, there's so many – the branches that come from Popovich in the NBA is just unreal as far as the coaching tree goes. And so he commended him on that, you know.
No, J-Mac, didn't the Aces win it last year?
They did.
So
no, I thought Chicago did.
Oh, you're right.
No, the Aces were in the finals. They lost to Chicago. I stand corrected by Chris Bacon.
Chris is right. So I don't recall, why did the Aces – did the coach retire then? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, something – yeah, Becky Hammond, I mean, yeah, give her props for going 9-1, but it's not like – I don't want to take nothing away from her, but, I mean –
well, you have to give partial credit to Popovich a little bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you get all the credit in the world, but it's not – she did take over a 500 team that missed the playoffs and turned them around. I mean, she did take away a finals team or take over a finals team.
No, it's true. But I forget who their coach was. But, yes, he retired at the end of last year. So that's why they don't have the same coach.
Was it Lambier for some reason I'm thinking?
That sounds correct to me, Bill Lambier. That sounds right. And the other thing I was telling Chris is that I'm going to Vegas again this year. And – I think this year I'm actually going to make a stop inside the Golden Knights arena and maybe take some pictures in there. And also, you drive, if you take the tour bus, you go right by. I mean, you stop 2 blocks from where the Las Vegas Aces play their home games.
Yep.
Like if you could hop off the tour bus and go inside there for a little bit, that'd be awesome too.
Well, and then you got the Raiders Stadium ain't too far away from all those. I mean,
you could see that from anywhere in town. That's how big it is. And when you see them on TV and you think, man, that's not very big, they're huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we think about, since we're talking Vegas, baseball saying that there's going to be basketball or baseball in Vegas and another city soon?
I heard basketball is one of the
basketball.
Well, maybe it was basketball. You're right. Because I think Seattle was involved. I think it's Seattle and Vegas are both going to have basketball teams very soon.
Seattle and Vegas, yes, are the two that I've heard now.
Yeah, you're right, Chris.
By 2024, I think.
Yeah. Baseball, I've heard, is going to be Nashville and Portland, which
cool.
I do think.
Yeah, but I still think Oakland's moving to Vegas soon.
I do think Oakland's moving to Vegas. I was going to bring that up.
So Vegas is going to be a big spot to hit here, tour-wise,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's in August. The indoor football championships are going to be in Vegas for 3 years. They've agreed to that. So, and then you got the Vegas Raiders.
Speaking of that, is that you have everyone forgets, like the NFL obviously is the pinnacle, but what do you guys think of the USFL this year? Have you enjoyed the games that you've seen?
They haven't been bad. I've liked them so far.
It's going to be interesting to see, year 2. We'll see where the players go. Because I think they're right now binded to their contract. They can't go to the NFL unless they get bought out, I believe. I could be wrong. But it'll be interesting to see how they develop players, what players go there. Do they, are they going to turn into the D League for the NFL? What's going to be with the XFL coming back next year, the year after?
Next year.
What that's going to be like? Yeah. So, I mean, football is football. I think, Chris kind of said it. I mean, everybody enjoys watching football, no matter what the talent level is. So, yeah. So, we'll see What year 2, Breeze? Yeah, year 1, great. I mean, the rule changes they did implemented. I mean, even the XFL before it shut down due to COVID. I mean, I think had some good ideas that the NFL was kind of looking at and still looking at. So
And if you think about, you know, the XFL, and I know COVID was starting up, I don't think the ratings were going down too much. You just had that incident, you know,
yeah,
that
and don't
started.
forget it was the second stint for the XFL. The first time Vince McMahon was just kind of
Right.
throwing out all this little gimmicky stuff, which didn't catch on, and then
Well,
he
some of it,
rebranded it, brought it back out as actual football, and stopped with all this gimmicky stuff. So
well, some of it that he'd used, the NFL used today.
yeah.
So
All right. So before we end the show here tonight, we're going to do something a little different. A new segment I came up with, and it's good. It's called "How Many." So how many question mark? And what I'm going to ask you is, I'm going to ask you a question, and obviously you're going to try to guess how many, whether it's times or does that make sense? So it's going to be,
Yep.
you know, okay. So how many?
how
So
many
let's
touchdown
start.
passes?
Exactly.
You did?
Let's start with Crispy Bacon.
Okay.
So, Chris,
Yes.
how many players in Major League history in their career has 350 homers, 200 stolen bases, a 300 batting average, and a 400 on base percentage?
I'm gonna go low and say 6.
Big B, do you want to?
If it's the one I'm thinking of that you posted, it's 1 and it's Larry Walker.
You got both of those. It is 1, and it's Larry Walker. Larry Walker's the only player. So there's been over 19,000 players
Yep.
in Major League history. And Larry Walker's the only one who has career numbers of 350 homers, 200 stolen bases, a 300 batting average, and a 400 on base percentage in his career. Crazy.
That is crazy.
And you know, and it's crazy because one, you think Pete Rose with the hits and the speed that, you know, Pete Rose had, Charlie Hustle. So you would think, well, that can't be right because Pete Rose has to have those numbers, but he didn't have the home runs, you know, or the
Exactly.
batting, you know. So
Well,
yeah,
that's
because
the same.
when you posted that, I was like, well, that can't be right, you know.
Well, it's the same for people thinking, well, no, it's Ichiro Suzuki has to be in there. Ichiro doesn't have 350 homers. So that's another one.
Yeah.
Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn didn't have 350 homers. That's the number that everyone forgets. Like 350
It's the
homers
home runs, yep.
It's the home runs. So
Which kind of surprised me because I honestly thought Ricky Henderson had 300 plus home runs.
yeah. But all right. Big B, your turn.
All right.
How many NFL quarterbacks all time have more than 12 career playoff wins?
Oh. 12. Oh, man, that's tough. All time, too. 12 or more. I'm going to say it's going to be low. I'll go with 6.
I'm going 5.
Well, you were one off, Big B, at 7.
Oh, God dang it.
I know
No
Brady
set-
has one with is like number 1 with 33.
Well, I would go
Uh,
Brady, Montana, Aikman, Bradshaw. God, Mahomes would be close, but I don't think he's got 12 yet.
mhm.
I'm going Brady, Manning, Breeze.
Oh, I forgot Manning. Yeah, Eli and Peyton both probably have 12.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Rogers.
No, here's the
Rogers, they
list.
got 12.
You ready
What?
for the list? Are you ready for
Yeah,
the
let's
list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brady's one. Everyone got that.
Yeah.
So Brady's one with 35.
Okay.
Montana's two with 16.
Okay.
Bradshaw and John Elway and Peyton Manning are all tied at third
Shoot, I forgot about Elway.
with 14.
Okay.
And Brett Favre and Ben Roethlisberger are the last two, and they both have 13.
Wow, I forgot. I didn't think Brett Favre had that many playoff wins.
Yeah. So then
Okay, so what's Kelly at then? Because Kelly went to 4 straight Super Bowls.
Jim Kelly has 9.
9. Okay, because they got the bye every year.
Right.
Okay.
Right below Roethlisberger would be Roger Staubach, Aaron Rodgers, and Troy Aikman with 11.
Rodgers has 11 playoff victories. Wow.
And then you have Joe Flacco alone with 10.
Yep.
Russell Wilson has 9. Kurt Warner had 9. Donovan McNabb had 9. Kelly had 9. Breeze had 9. Bart Starr had 9.
Keep
And
going.
then
I
you
want to
have-
hear a Viking.
Then you have 5 guys with 8. You have Patrick Mahomes, Dan Marino, Steve Young, Jim Plunkett, and Eli Manning with 8. Eli Manning
Wow.
only had 8. And the reason I brought this one up, he had 8 career playoff wins. He had 6 of those in his 2 Super Bowl seasons.
Wow.
well, defense carried him a little bit. But yeah.
Well, yeah.
So that tells you how bad he really was outside those 2 seasons
Well,
in the playoffs.
It tells you how bad that the Vikings are. Don't even have a quarterback in the.
No.
I mean, unless you count McNabb. McNabb was there for a year, but
The
Or when
only
he jumped
team
to the Eagle
the only team that has 3 quarterbacks in there
Is Green Bay.
is
Packers.
Green Bay, Starr, Rodgers, and Favre. The
Niners could have 2.
The Niners have 2. The Steelers have 2. And the Cowboys have 2.
Wow.
So, and no, Dak Prescott's not on the list.
Oh, I know. Romo isn't either.
Romo's not either. But Romo is still better than Troy Aikman.
And Dak.
All right. So let's do 2 more. I got 2 more lined up. Let's do this. 2 more. How many? So I'll set the premise. Okay.
Mhm.
In 1985, Wade Boggs set the major league record for number of times on base in a season. Now, number of times on base is a combo of hits, walks, and hit by pitch. Okay? So
Is this
he set the-
consecutive or for the whole year?
for the whole year.
Okay.
He set the record for the whole year that year for times on base. How many times was he on base that season?
I'm going 30.
Oh no, it's way more than that, Chris. God, try and think because you try to get 600 at bats. Boggs was typically a 300 hitter, so you're looking at 250, 300 hits a year. Walk probably another 100 times. I'll say he's probably pushing the record's probably around 400.
You're pretty close.
Wow.
414 times he was on base that year.
Oh, wow.
Do you think we will ever see that number again?
No.
Well, it's actually kind of surprising that we have it with the way they pitched to Bonds back in the
Yeah.
day. Sosa, McGuire.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
tough to say. I mean, does it give like the list of like the closest one since then?
Closest one since then was Barry Bonds, 365.
Yeah, well, oh, okay. Is there any active ones? I guess.
Nobody active. Nobody active that's close. Like the closest active person on that list, closest active person on that list was, sorry, I got to find it again.
Oh, that's fair.
Closest active person on the list for hits, walks, and hit by pitch in a season, active is Aaron Judge, and that was the year he got walked 100 times. So the 312 that year. So I mean, you're less than, more than 100 off.
Yeah. I say it's going to be. I think we'll see it, but I think the chances are going to be slim. I think.
Mhm.
All right, last one, and I believe this one's to Big B, right?
All right.
So the all-time major league leader in strikeouts by a batter is held by Reggie Jackson. How many times did he strike out in his major league career?
Ooh. That's shocking. That's kind of Reggie Jackson. I'm gonna say the ballpark of 2,100 times. So 2,100.
Chris, any
Okay.
guesses?
I'm going 2,300.
Chris was actually closer. Reggie Jackson struck out a major league record 2,597 times in his career.
Sad thing
No.
is, I was gonna say that number. I was gonna say that ballpark. And I'm like, that's a lot. Back in the day.
Real quick,
How
I
many
just
hits
want-
did Reggie have?
what's that?
How many career hits did Reggie have?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
Oh, okay.
I don't have that in front of me. I just have the strikeouts.
No, that's okay.
But I just want to read the list of the top 10, and you guys tell me how many of these players you've watched play in your life. Reggie Jackson's number 1.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Jim
caught him towards the end of his career.
Jim Thome is number 2. Jim Thome
Wow.
struck out 2,548 times in his career. Only
Wow.
50 less times than Adam Dunn.
Yeah.
Adam Dunn, by the way, I have to say, Reggie Jackson played 17 years to strike out 2,500 times. Jim Thome played almost 20 years to strike out that number of times. Adam Dunn played 13 years in Major League Baseball, and he struck out 2,306 times in 13 seasons.
See, that's one thing with records. I mean, they look at the longevity. Yeah, Reggie has the most career strikeouts, but he played how many more years than Adam Dunn?
Right, at least 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, number 5 is Alex Rodriguez. Struck out 2,287 times.
And he missed a year.
Right. Andres Galarraga.
That one doesn't surprise me.
He struck out 2,003 times in his career.
Okay.
Then you have Justin Upton.
Wow.
Jose Canseco.
Canseco don't surprise me.
Willie Stargell.
Okay.
Miguel Cabrera. And here is the ultimate. So then 10th on the list is Mark Reynolds.
Wow.
And by comparison, Mark Reynolds played 11 years in Major League Baseball. 11. Okay? 11,
Okay.
the equivalent to 11 full seasons. He struck out in 11 seasons 1,977 times.
So just roughly,
Almost 200 times a season.
yeah.
I did the math. It's roughly 183 times a year.
Well,
So you're looking at that. Don struck out what in his career? What did you say?
Reggie Jackson or
No,
Dunn?
I'm talking Dunn.
Adam
He
Dunn.
played how many years and struck out how many times?
I believe it was 13 years. Hold on, get back to it real
And
quick.
2,300 times. So he's like
2,300 times. And Mark Reynolds was 11 years and 1,977 times.
so roughly they probably struck out about the same ratio. I mean, Dunn probably got him, but
Yeah. Everyone else played a long time. You got a Mike Cameron, a Mike Schmidt, a Fred McGriff, Bobby Abreu, Derek Jeter.
wow, Jeter's that high. Wow.
I know. I couldn't believe Jeter was that high, but he's on the list. Ken Griffey Jr., Alfonso Soriano. I mean, you had guys that played for a long time. You would expect that. All right.
See, and that's one thing that we all talk about greatness and stuff like that, but just because somebody's played X amount of years, let's just take LeBron. He's going on 20-some years, 22,
It'll be his 18th season next year.
18th.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people consider him great. Yeah, he's got talent, but just because you play that many years, of course you're going to break records and stuff because you got all that talent.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you the greatest.
That's true. All right. So before I give everyone their 30 seconds, I got one more thing to say tonight. And this is a big one. The Oakland A's, because we were just talking about them moving to Las Vegas, right? I think tonight Wednesday night might have sealed it for them, by the way. The Oakland A's attendance on Wednesday night against the Astros was 5,189 people. 5,000. Texas high school baseball attendance for Sinton versus Callahan on Wednesday. In Chris's neck of the woods, by the way, their paid attendance at a high school baseball game was 7,892 people.
Well,
they had 2,700 more people at a high school baseball game than the Oakland A's had.
Well, and I think the Oregon Cougars on their last home game had close to 5,000 people there.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Oakland's done with the team. They don't want them there anymore. So,
and that's the one sad thing about this whole situation is, I mean, can we, Chris, I know you're young, but me and J-Mac's been around. I don't know if I could go through a Major League Baseball season not having Oakland A's as the Oakland A's, because that's what I grew up seeing, with the Bash Brothers and the Eckersleys or Ricky Hendersons and stuff like that. They got tradition. I just don't get the fan base.
I don't get their fan base either.
And I think that's what the Rams kind of felt like, LA Rams, when they're in St. Louis. They didn't want to lose St. Louis.
Wow.
By the way, okay, so Chris, give us 30 seconds, man, before we get out of here.
Thanks, everyone, for watching and tuning in. Great things are happening coast to coast. Just keep a lookout, and stay with Coast to Coast.
Big B?
Yeah, just keep checking us out. Thanks for everybody that's been tuning in and watching all our shows, not just this one, On Deck, all of them. And just like Chris said and J-Mac said and I've said, just keep checking us out because you never know what kind of content we're going to have, deals we're going to strike with other shows or teams to stream their stuff. So just keep checking us out.
All right, and we haven't done a movie thing in a while, so I got two movies that I watched recently, and you guys should watch them both. I think they're very good movies. American Underdog, the story of Kurt Warner, is a very, very good movie. I would suggest anyone to watch that movie. It was very, very good.
Just watched it the other night.
The other movie that I went and watched was Top Gun Maverick, and I will tell you, there's not very many movies that I consider buying ever to want to watch again. I would buy that movie in a heartbeat when it came out. So,
J-Mac, without spoiling it, how much does it tie into the original Top Gun?
A lot.
Does it? Okay.
It does. It does.
That's kind of what I was kind of worried about, is that it was
And
going to
without-
use the
without-
name, but it wasn't going to tie into it at all.
Right. And without spoiling anything, I will tell you that there's a very, very good scene in which Val Kilmer does make an appearance as Iceman, and it definitely pulls at the heartstrings when he does that. But that's
Yeah, I've heard that.
definitely
I've heard that scene was pretty emotional.
So I'd suggest anyone to watch that movie. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for watching tonight on the Four Bros Radio Show. I'm J-Mac for Crispy Bacon for Double Dirty Big B. We thank you for watching. Lifelong dreams being in front of your very eyes. We will see you all on the other.